ba da ba. Ba 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 da ba. Go with the flow. Ba 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 da ba. Ba 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 da ba. Go with the. You got your shoulders moving today.
Listen, I'm into it today.
Hello, y'all.
Happy. Well, for us, it's Friday.
Whatever
day it is.
When you listen to this podcast or watch it, it's Alexis
and Shannon.
I was about to say it's Shannon, and then you would have said Alexis. I feel like we switching roles today. It's like Freaky Friday.
I know.
Cool.
I'm feeling good today.
I'm feeling great today.
Good today.
How you doing, Lane?
I'm good. I'm tired. I'm ready to go to bed.
Fall break's coming up, isn't it?
Oh, I already have Fridays off, so it's just a Thursday off.
Oh.
But I'll take it.
It's funny, y'all. I was actually talking. We were at our career expo today, so shout out to our career and professional development team for setting that up for our students.
It looked
Love
awesome.
That. They did a great
so
job.
Good.
And someone was talking about today the podcast, and they were like, "We hear Lane in the background, your show manager, and it's so cool." I'm like, he's our show producer, but thank you. So Lane, people know who you are. You got to follow him.
I didn't get one of those over there.
Yeah, you do.
Come on. So just so you guys know, again, we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Admissions is going. The funnel is going. It's going. Normally at this time of year, we'd be getting ready for a big thing to come out, but unfortunately it is being postponed. Mm-hmm. So this episode is called Show Me the Money. I'm going to add the honey part on there, but show me the money, honey. So we're going to talk about financial aid. You know, there is an investment in getting a degree, and we want to talk about some of the tips and tricks and just kind of tell you all about what different terminology is about financial aid in general.
The basics, because there's a lot.
Yeah.
And we're just literally skimming the top of it.
Yeah. If you want more financial aid knowledge, please go to your financial aid office at an institution. And that's a big thing we want to stress too about that. So Shannon, start us off. Tell us about financial aid, Shannon, and the differences in financial aid. Start me off.
Okay, so financial aid is normally when you receive money from an institution or from the government. Financial aid provides money. You then pay the bursar's office or student accounts. That's a big difference that I think some people get confused about.
Yeah.
So financial aids are the ones, they are not financial planners, but they are helping, they're there to assist with you through the financial aid process.
Funding your education.
Funding your education and talking about options and what you've been awarded and how it all works, because grants and loans are all different and all this kind of stuff. So they're the experts to go talk to about what your options are, what your out-of-pocket costs could be, and how to fund the rest of it if you do have a balance. Yeah, so it's the money you receive.
That's a good definition, Shannon. And like Shannon said, there's grants and scholarships, which you don't have to pay back. And then there's loans, which you do have to pay back. So let's start off with merit aid. So merit aid is something that you will hear at most institutions offer it. Not all, but most do. And it's great for you to speak with either your admissions counselor or recruiter or financial aid office to figure out what is the process of receiving merit aid. So tell me what merit aid is, especially maybe through our lenses, what we know about it.
So merit aid is essentially an academically based scholarship, meaning you don't need to pay it back, but it's based off of the application that you submit. Now here at Stetson, your Stetson application is your application for merit.
Yep.
There are schools that you have to apply for admissions, but then you also have to apply for merit.
Yep.
So it's very important that if you're looking for funds to help that education, you need to really be sure you fill out all the applications correctly, on time, all that kind of stuff.
On time.
On
That's an ASMR right there.
But it can be really confusing and it can be very overwhelming, but we make it nice and easy here.
We really do. Our financial aid.
So you apply for aid, but it's based off of the application. So all the materials you submit, the admissions committee will make a decision based off of that, and you would be provided a range or that amount. Normally, we do try and get it in our acceptance packages.
Yep.
So you would know right away if you're accepted and what that just academic-based merit award. You normally have to maintain a certain GPA on campus to maintain that. It normally does not go up throughout the 4 years.
It stays the same.
Stays the same. But that is based off of the admissions application that you submit.
Yep. And so know that normally at most schools as well, it's every year for 4 years that you would get that scholarship. But just make sure when you receive, you know, your acceptance package or your financial aid award letter, like you read in depth of what you're actually getting and to like what you've been given or awarded. And again, like we said, the financial aid team at any institution, they're there to help you. They're genuinely there to help you. Like, I had the opportunity to work as an admissions recruiter and a financial aid counselor for about a year. That was the hardest and the most rewarding job I think I've ever done.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shannon, for helping me get through that.
Yeah.
Because she didn't know it as well. I didn't know it, but our financial aid team here at Stetson was so welcoming and loving to me to teach me. I was one of the youngest members on the team.
I learned a lot too.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
No, like you have to remember, like when you come into the financial aid office, you're there to have your problem solved.
Yeah.
And I know that, and you know this as well, our financial aid counselors at Stetson are there to help our students figure out how they can fund this education, and they have everybody's best interests at heart. So shout out to our financial aid team at Stetson.
Yeah.
Next off would be state aid. So here in Florida, so I don't know state aid in every state.
Yep, different.
I know Georgia has the Hope Scholarship, Zell Miller, things like that. Florida is what we can talk about.
Yep.
Get us on Bright Futures.
So Bright Futures is essentially state scholarship. Again, you don't need to pay it back, but you have to meet certain qualifications in high school to qualify for it. You need to submit all of it to your guidance counselor.
Yeah.
Universities have nothing to do with Bright Futures. Universities have nothing to do with Bright
Say
Futures.
it one more time for the people in the back.
Universities have nothing to do with Bright Futures. We just pull that information from the state database, and the state's like, they qualify or they don't qualify. So you need to put all of your information, test scores, service hours,
Work
hours now, as well as GPA into your counselor so they can upload it to the state. For the test scores, it ranges. There's the academic academic medallion, and then there's like a technical vocational type scholarship as well. So at a public institution, the academic covers 100% of tuition. 100% of tuition.
Thank you. Say it. There you go. Good job. Good job.
Because that's a big misconception that it covers 100% of everything. It does not. So at public schools, it covers 100% of tuition. The medallion covers 75% of tuition.
Yep.
At a private institution, and most private schools in the state of Florida do accept it, but it's like it's paid out per credit, essentially.
Yep.
So it depends on what that university's classes cost per credit or per unit. So at Stetson, it's just like a stackable scholarship. So ours can range, the academic hypothetical numbers for this upcoming year. It's like 6,000 and some change for the academic, and then like 5,000 and some change for the medallion.
Yep.
We don't take the vocationals. A lot of privates don't, but it does count. But you do need I don't know the scores off the top of my head. I should have wrote it down, but
they changed
it's
too.
SAT, ACE, and it just changed for this year. It's SAT, ACT, and they do now take the CLT, which is the classic learning test. And then for service/work, you have to do so many service hours or work, and then you have to have a certain GPA 3.0 or a 3.5.
I thought it was a 3.5 or a 3.75. I don't know. I'm not.
Don't
quote us on the GPA part.
It changed this year, so I honestly don't know off the top of my head. But it's like high test scores.
Yeah.
So that's state aid, but you also have to maintain a certain GPA at the institution to maintain the state Bright Futures.
Yes. That was a lot. I'm proud of you.
Bright Futures is, but again, you have to talk to your guidance counselor to make sure Bright Futures is right and they're sending the right information to the state. We just pull it from the state database.
Like our person that does it here, know who you are. You do a phenomenal job at pulling that. You do an amazing job. You know who you are. I ain't gonna say your name, but you do an amazing job at pulling that information and getting that awarded to students. And just again, y'all, we said in our last episode, grace. Give some grace to people. Guidance counselors. They do, or guidance counselors, college counselors, they deal with that.
Yeah.
Ease. So that is the education.
Effective access.
I
for
knew
student
that.
education.
Effective access to student education. See, I wanted to.
It used to be called, if you have an older child in college, it used to be called the FRAG.
That's what I had it as.
Yeah, so it used to be called the FRAG. I don't remember what the.
I don't know what it meant.
I don't know. So when we were in college, we had the FRAG, but it's changed now to EASE, effective access for student education. And this is for students in a private university, so it's additional funds. The state understands there's a cost difference between a public and a private university. So this is state funds to help bridge the gap. Not a huge grant, but it's something.
Every penny counts.
Every penny. So it's kind of to help with that, this because the state does recognize that there is that cost difference. So if you're a Florida resident, a family member, Florida resident, it's not based off of student residency.
Yes.
But there are certain
Yeah.
stipulations. But
So the biggest thing to understand about Bright Futures is this. You must have graduated from a Florida high school to go to receive Bright Futures if you meet the qualifications. Like for those of students who lived, and we've had this before, I had the Georgia Territory, had a student who lived physically in Georgia or lived in Florida but went to school in Georgia. It was weird how it happened.
yeah.
It looked like they were going to get Bright Futures, but didn't graduate from a Florida high school. So that was the issue. But with EASE, it's the Florida residency part. And because if you're, I think it's under the age of 24 or something, a family member, guardian, whoever needs to be the one to submit that certification for that as well.
It's like an application, but it's more of like a verification process, essentially, because you need to submit 2 forms of ID to get that done.
Yep.
For us, again, we make it easy. It's on all of our checklists for our accepted students, so you know if we have the application and if we have your 2 forms of ID.
I think we do a really great job as well in your, it's called a financial aid dashboard here at Stetson of like letting you know these are the items that you need to get done. Do them. That's pretty simple. All right, next thing. It's called the FAFSA.
FAFSA.
Not the FAFSA, the FAFSA. FAFSA. The Free Application for Federal Student Aid. I'm so proud of myself for being able to say that. Shout out to Joanne Brown, our director and AVP here at Stetson, because I'm telling you, she'd be so proud of me for knowing how to say that, and just knowing that acronym. So for those of you like Shannon and I, the FAFSA used to open October 1st. This year, it is opening in December. This is something that all institutions around the nation are dealing with. So if you are listening to this podcast or watching this podcast, again, give financial aid officers some grace this year because we are all navigating.
Every university.
Every college. Any school that accepts federal aid and they accept students to file the FAFSA, they all need some grace because this is new. We don't know when, we don't have dates yet of when it's going to come out, but we'll put it on our podcast social media when we find out. We just know it's going to be out in December. It's called the Simplification Act is what it's called. So the FAFSA typically in the past, it would take the tax returns, prior tax returns, 2 years tax returns from a family. It would be the student has to fill out a portion, the parental guardian would have to fill out a portion as well. And it gives you what they called an EFC, so an expected family contribution. It is now called an SAI, which is a student aid index. This is what the government says that your family is able to contribute to your education. Again, the government tells us this based off of prior tax returns. Now, with that being said, that is how institutions are able to see if there's any need there, if they will meet certain need on students, X, Y, and Z. It is so important to fill out the FAFSA. Like, students leave so much free money out there. You just never know. So students may be Pell eligible, which is a Pell grant, free money. There's something called SEOG. I'm not going to get into it exactly, but free money again. Florida students, FSAG, like you name it, free money. And then everyone will be eligible for a loan, at least an unsubsidized loan. If you have certain need, you'll be eligible for a subsidized loan. Subsidized loans, there's no interest on that loan there's no interest while you're in school.
Which is nice.
Which is amazing.
That's the good one that people talk about.
Right.
Like there's a good and the bad one.
Yeah. On the unsub loan, though, there's interest starts accruing while you're in school. the thing I love about the government loans, the interest rates on them,
Super low.
compared to when you go to a private lender.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in general, when you talk about loans, do your research on the loan that you're taking out, but also understand there's an investment on an
Yes.
education, and you have to invest in yourself for a school to invest into you.
Yep.
Okay. So also understand too, like I said, back to the EFC/SAI, like we said, it's 2 years. It's 2 years prior. It's prior tax returns. Obviously, a lot of things happen. So I think we did a really great job here at Stetson when COVID hit. You know, those prior tax returns are saying they make certain money. Then, obviously, people unfortunately lost jobs. Things like that happen at family adjustments. Stetson did a really great job in doing professional judgments and reviews and just making sure that we were there to help our students where they needed it.
Yeah.
If you have that issue at an institution and if at any time something happens, talk to your financial aid office.
There's always a process.
There's always a process. Like, financial aid offices don't just think, oh, nothing bad is going to happen to a family. What they say is exactly, no, they plan for these things.
Yeah.
But if you don't tell them, then they don't know. So always talk to your financial aid officers. Go up in there, make friends with them. You never know.
Yeah.
There's some great, I'm not gonna lie, I love our counselors though.
Yeah, they're great. The big thing I always like to say, and when I do information sessions and just talk to families, the FAFSA is free application. There are scam websites out there that would make you pay like $100, $200, and it just redirects you to the government site. So please be careful. You should never be paying for the FAFSA in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
But also, if you have family or friends that are already in college in the past and they've gotten like full financial aid packages, that's not going to happen this year for any student. Like, we're not getting out, schools aren't probably getting full financial aid packages out until maybe January, early February. So it's just also understanding that
It's a process.
that's a process, and you know, having all the information earlier is good because you have to make a decision by May. So you're getting it later, unfortunately, this year, but then it's probably going to go back to normal next year.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully. So it's just knowing as well, like, it will come, but it's going to come much later than it has in the past. So if you have like older students or family friend, anything like that, that they've received it way earlier, schools just can't do that this year. It's just not possible.
Like I said, everyone's fighting this. Like,
Yeah.
everyone's dealing with this. So if anybody from the Department of Education is listening to this, we love you. But please get us that FAFSA ASAP. Please do. Because our students want it. Your financial aid offices want it. We're all just here for the students, and I love that. Some of you, real quick, may hear about the CSS profile. That's through College Board. It's like the FAFSA, but I say on steroids. It goes a little bit more in depth into your finances. So some schools may ask you to do it for certain applications, if you're in a certain applicant pool, things like that. So just know that is something that is not free.
That's a fee.
There's a fee. Normally it's about $25, or I know 1 year they said if like your adjusted gross income was a certain number, or if it was lower than a certain number, it was free. So just understand that, which overall helps schools determine a lot of need-based aid, whether it's FAFSA or CSS profile. Take us to outside scholarships, Shan.
Outside scholarships are scholarships, free money, that come from essentially organizations or companies, yeah. So you would need to apply through them. We have there's a ton of sites out there. We used to have a recruiter, and he essentially would always say he applied for everything. Like, he won an award for being like a zombie slayer or something because he wrote an essay about zombies or something, and he got a pretty hefty scholarship for it. But there are a ton of sites out there. A great one that we always talk about is FastWeb. So like you run fast, and then like Charlotte's Web, so FastWeb. Sometimes I don't enunciate. So FastWeb, this is great because one, it actually does a lot of the work for you, meaning you don't need to search for it. The more questions you answer about yourself, it's like a profile. It sends you stuff you qualify for, and then you just need to actually do the applications. And it provides you the links, it provides you how much money, it provides you potentially how many other students qualify that are on FastWeb. FastWeb is free. So we push as a university and whatnot, admissions enrollment management, push FastWeb because it's very trusted, very safe, and there's a ton of opportunities through it.
You know what I also found? Niche.
Really?
So, okay, this is the thing, y'all. I've asked about niche. I've
Yeah.
asked the people who work for niche.
Yeah.
I'm like, is it niche or niche? They're like, it's both. You call it what you want to. But if you don't know, niche is a company where you can go and compare universities, and they have grades A+ through F or whatnot. And you can leave reviews, and it's real-time reviews. You actually, fun fact, if you leave a review for a school, they have $1,000 drawing every month. Not per school, just in general, which is really cool though. So like you can see top schools and things of that nature. But they have outside scholarships
Nice.
that I got an email for the other day and sent it to my little cousin who has a nonprofit to help young people to find out about colleges and stuff. So I mean, I think it's really cool. And again, like we said, there are companies, there are people who have what? My mind just went blank.
Funds and sources.
There are people who want to help you fund your education.
And even looking at your high school guidance website, some of them have it. Look at other schools in your district. I just say that to students all the time. Like, don't just look at yours. Like, look at other schools in the area, because their website might be more robust.
Yep.
In the scholarships that are available for, students in your area. Or what students have received in the past. So, there's a ton of options out there. It takes the work to actually find it. So it's just, that's the work for it.
There's like I mentioned about companies and nonprofits or whatnot. My little cousin Tiana, she's a graduate from Kennesaw State, a double graduate from there. She has a nonprofit called Prior to Success. It's like PRYOR, Prior to Success. And like her Instagram talks about like outside scholarships that kids can apply for.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll put that in the link as well, but also find different nonprofits who will give you the information and tell you, hey, go apply for this scholarship, go apply, like follow those things. You guys are already on social media, so just use it.
They're out there, you just got to do the work for it.
Gotta do the work for it.
But they're there, and if it's free money,
It's free, it's for what? It's for me. All right, I love that. You ready to jump into the game?
Yeah.
We got through our session pretty quick today. I mean, financially is financially.
And like basics.
That was bare minimum. Like we said, if you want more information, always check with the financial aid office of the institution that you are looking at.
Yeah, they can definitely help for sure.
All right, let's jump into this game.
Okay.
All right, so this week's game is which as in which co-director. So we got some whiteboards here, and we have some most likely questions, and we're gonna write down who we think is most likely to do the thing that we say, and we will reveal it to each other.
Okay.
You want to go first?
Ooh. Sure. Okay. These I'm gonna laugh at. Who is more likely to pretend it's their birthday at a restaurant?
Why did I write down that exact same one? Oh, who is more likely to do that? That's me.
Yeah.
I like if it's dealing with a cupcake.
I get cringy. Like, I get secondhand embarrassment really easily. Like at, what is it, Texas Roadhouse?
Oh, when they make you sit on like the saddle thing.
On the saddle. I cringe when I watch it. But like, I'm really glad that people do it and enjoy it, but
I'm dead. Okay, mine is who's most likely to get Tom Brady's autograph? As much as I love Tom Brady, Shannon is a Pats fan.
Tommy boy.
I mean, he's also well, technically you could be a Bucks fan too and love Tom Brady, but that one specifically, that's
haven't
Shannon.
been through his life and his journey, okay? No, but for real, you're probably a fan too. I feel like a lot of Patriot fans are also slightly Bucks fans, even though they won't admit it to you, because I won't admit it. But like,
you still love Tom Brady when he went to...
I'm a Tom Brady fan. Like, well, I'm more of a Rob Gronkowski. But anyways, we're gonna digress.
Lord love. USAA. Just give that man a membership.
Anyways, Tom Brady, like, that's who I grew up with in the family. So like, Tommy boy. My whole family calls him by his first name. Come on, Tom. It's like we're first name basis. Like, okay, she knows you don't know that man.
She knows Tom Brady. Okay.
Who is most likely to get stuck in an elevator?
We know each other way too well. I just think that's something Shannon.
It is just my luck.
Have you been stuck in an elevator? I've fallen
No.
in an elevator.
You've fallen into an elevator.
Yo, I was walking in our elevator on campus, and our building has a mirror. And I don't know what happened. I was just walking, and I slipped and slid feet first into the elevator. And I got so upset. Lane's laughing behind the camera. I was laughing so hard and crying tears of laughter. Like, when I fall, I want people to laugh. And I get off the elevator, and I'm bawling and laughing. And I get to Shannon. She's like, are you okay? What's wrong? And I was like, I'm mad you weren't there to laugh at me. Like, I was so angry she was not there to laugh at me. It's
Yeah,
fine.
but no, it would literally just be my luck
Yeah.
that would happen.
Oh, yeah. Hands down.
It really would.
Hands down.
Your turn.
Oh, my bad. Who's most likely to wear a dinosaur costume on Halloween?
I don't know.
What are you writing? Yep, it'd be her. It's because one time she made a cum, y'all. So she didn't
I
have
almost wrote you, and then I was like, I don't think she.
I thought when I saw that one, I literally thought about it, and I was like, I remember Shannon one time had on this jacket or something, and her arms are short, and she's like, I got little arms. And I just
Listen,
thought
like
it
the
was,
Meet the Robinsons.
big head and little arms. Like, that's what it made me think about. Yeah, I just feel like, and I also wanted to dress up as Miss Frizzle from the Magic School Bus, and I was like, Shannon, should my dog be the lizard or the bus? And she's like, the bus. But if you can't find the bus, the lizard. And it just made me think about that too.
Yeah. Okay. Who is most likely to talk to dogs in public like they are people?
That's you. Really? Girl, that ain't me. I don't play with
You
other people's
talk to
pets.
Athens like he's a real person when you're out walking him.
Athens is
You're
my
like, Athens,
my dog Athens George, our chief happiness officer. Athens is my dog, so I talk to him like he's a human. But that's you. Will
Maybe I think like,
I don't.
maybe.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I guess it's because that thing of like, I used to be terrified. Full disclaimer, I used to be terrified of dogs.
Yeah.
Like, not my thing. You would never know because of how much I love my dog now. And I had a dog before this, Coco, and she was a Shih Tzu, and now I have a Golden Doodle. And I just have never really been a dog person. So when I see other people's dogs, I still sometimes have this apprehension of like, I don't know why.
Maybe I just thought of like the way you talk to Athens, you see other, maybe it's like you see other doodles.
How do I talk to Athens, Shan? Give an invitation.
Bubby. Quit acting like a fool. Bubby. Will you go pee already? Like the way you talk to
I talk to my dog way nicer than that.
you do. You're like, but you're also like, Bubby, come love me. That's why I'm like, I just feel it would be you, but maybe I'm thinking it would just be just to doodles, maybe.
I only talk to my dog like that. Like, I don't talk to other people's dogs. Like I see other people's dogs, I'm like, oh, your dog is so cute. But I don't talk to other people's dogs because I
Yeah,
think
that's
people think
true.
I'm crazy the way I do talk to my dog.
You talk.
I talk to my dog all the time. Who doesn't talk to their pet?
Yeah.
Don't talk to your pet, then you need help. All right. Who is most likely to trip walking down the aisle? This
It's
one.
me.
You want to tell them what happened with you at the LBC?
I fell. I honestly think that's why they repaved the front of the LBC. I fell so hard. My lunch container just broke. And I just went down and I just stayed there for a second. And then I feel like they repaved it. I don't know, a couple months later. But I'm like, I feel somebody watched me fall so hard and just sit there and contemplate my life. And we're like, we should probably repave that. But also, oh, sorry, that was my whiteboard. I also feel like I have weak ankles. So I'm just,
she will be doing some, just walking and be tripping. I'm like, I'm not doing this today with you, Shannon. We're not doing this. We're not
Little
falling.
off balance, walk around. So I gotta really look down and watch the way that the pavement is, so I don't trip and fall. Yeah, that one time that was hard. Okay,
Hard fall.
it was very hard. I also once in the office jumped I jumped for some reason and I've fallen out of my chair about 3 times. I don't know how, but anyways.
Remember that one time? I know this has nothing to do with nobody tripping, but remember that one time one of our old VPs sat on that bookshelf?
It just broke. It didn't just break. It fell apart. Okay, this one is good because we both know this answer, but I think it's hilarious.
I'm crying.
I
Okay.
think it's just an hilarious question. I almost peed on myself in the office.
I can't. Oh, Jesus, please. Oh, okay. Okay, we gotta get it together. We're gonna cut this thing. Oh, all right. Whew. Go, Shannon. What is it? All y'all gonna hear is like an ASMR of us laughing. Oh. All right, we gonna.
Wait, Lane, I just think you need to read it. Read number 7. I don't know if you can read it.
What is it? Oh,
Number 7.
Who is most likely to chase a crab on the beach?
Why is that so funny?
Because it's me.
I ain't even gotta write it. It's you. My stomach hurt.
I've chased a little frog around the office.
Spiders.
I've chased spiders around and let them live.
She's like, oh, I could have taken the daddy long legs out and it could have eaten the gnats. Girl, I don't care if it's eating butterflies at this point. It's a bug. It's got to go if it's inside.
But I saw that crab one of them. Could you imagine?
Shannon,
Her on the beach.
get it together. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Who is most likely to watch the Super Bowl just for the halftime show? I'm watching it just for Usher this year. Me and you went through a whole set list already. I'm watching it just for
I know.
Usher.
I feel like we need to start a pool of like what songs he's gonna play.
Oh, yeah. Maybe we'll do a Super Bowl special one.
Ooh.
Do you
I
watch
haven't done
football?
I grew up a football fan. I don't care much for football.
Yeah, I'm a college football fan, not NFL. That's
Yeah, I'm
Shannon.
an NFL fan. Yeah. Okay. Who's most likely to win a game show?
Ooh. I'm gonna go outside the box on this one. Lane. I ain't gonna lie.
I said you.
You think I could win a game show?
Yeah.
That's a compliment. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I would have probably said you.
Really?
Yeah. Cause why you think
Well, I
could've-
definitely can't do Wheel of Fortune. I can't spell.
Example. With an X.
But yeah, I just feel like you would be. It's like not the Wheel of Fortune. The Price is Right.
Plinko. Give me a Plinko.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. My
I
grandmother.
just feel like you would just. Plus, I just feel like you have the best luck at those things, like
thank you, Shannon.
winning things, and I'm like, it would be her.
Ew.
You would do the big like roll thing, and it would land on.
I love
$1,
that. Thank
and
you
it'd
for
be
like. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I definitely think it would be you.
Okay, 2 more. Who's the most empathetic between the two of us?
Oh.
Dang, that's a good. I ain't thought about that, and I had it in my mind, and then I'm like, empathetic.
Ooh, I don't know.
I think it's you.
Yeah. Well, certain situations.
We're both empathetic people. I just think I think that's the good thing about our co-directorship.
Yeah.
Of like, you're like
I put more emotion into everything anyways, I feel like. So
yeah.
where you are more, which is funny because like you're more logical, but yet I'm like the logic person in
And
our job.
And it's so, like we said before, like it's so amazing how like your strengths are my weaknesses, and
Yeah.
like vice versa. It's just so cool how that actually like walks. How that actually is like. That's just so cool.
Yeah.
That's just so cool. All right, you go.
Who's most likely to spend their birthday cash first?
Me. I got a birthday coming up anyway. That's me.
Yeah.
Hands down. Hands down. Who's the most spirited between you and I? Who's the most spirited? Yeah.
Morale builder of the year over here.
Of Stetson University, people. Morale builder of the year. All right, give me your last one.
Who's most likely to show up to a flight a day early?
You think
Really?
you? It gives me the most anxiety.
I swear, I thought you would put me.
Really?
Yeah,
No. You're okay with packing the day before.
that's true.
I can't do that. I will pack
That's
for a
true.
trip 4 days before I leave and wear the other clothes that I have. I fly out of Daytona Beach Airport. I have TSA pre-check. I can get through that airport.
Yeah, but show up on time. Like, I feel like you would be so prepared, like you know.
It still gives me so much anxiety to show up to like it gave me anxiety going to Baltimore when you weren't there.
Yeah.
Because when I don't really like going out of Orlando.
big Orlando
It's just so
airport.
much. But I love the Atlanta airport. Crazy. And like
I feel
it
like
was
it's more
giving me.
organized though.
It was giving me so much anxiety. I'm like,
Yeah.
I gotta drop my car off at this place, and I have to do this, and get my bag, and this, and like, oh,
Yeah, I also feel like I would probably. I've actually done that, not flights, but I've showed up to a hotel on travel a day early.
yeah,
I have
Yeah.
I have done that twice. Actually, I just show up a day early and I'm like, "Hey, I'm here for my reservation." They're like, "No, you're not." I'm like, "Yes." And then I look and I'm like, "No, I'm not." I've also showed up to the wrong hotel. There was 2 hotels next to each other. I went to the first one and I was staying in the second one.
My last question:
Okay.
This is the last question for the whole podcast.
Okay.
Who's the best co-director? We do love each other.
Lane went, "Aw."
I mean, we say it all the time to people that being having a co-directorship, it is not for the faint of heart. It's not easy, but it is a true blessing that we get to do this
It is.
together.
Yeah.
We get to,
That was fun. We learned about each other.
We're so sorry for laughing so hard, but that was probably the best thing. Like that was the
You
best.
learned about us.
We learned about us. I said we learned about you. We learned about us. But we thank you guys so much for tuning in. Catch us next time on Code with the Flow.
Bye.
See ya.